Also, Dan, thank you so much for being there, man. I really appreciate you.
Nah, cool, man. Thank you for the intro. I'm really privileged to be on the cast, mate. Never done this before, so I'm excited, man.
Oh, cool, man. I'm sure you'll be a natural at it. It's all good also. Hey, listen, I thought we'd just start off by just telling us a little bit about yourself, where you're from and what you do there, Ignite. And also on the back end, what lockdown has actually been like for you.
Yeah, cool. So when people ask me where I'm from, I always say Wainemata. It's kind of like my roots of where I kind of grew up. So my parents are still there. It's kind of like where I call home. And I have a second home at the moment living in Stokes Valley. So me and my wife, Vienna, my wife and our little son, Manea, who's 7, we live out in Stokes Valley. And my wife's expecting a baby anytime now. So I just got my phone
Exciting.
off. In case she rings, I have to go. So expecting another one. So Pat Valley's home and work in youth development. Been with Ignite Sport for going on to 6 years now. So I've seen the growth in our organisation and also seen the growth in youth development around Pat Valley. It's pretty awesome and exciting. Personally, for me, I found it very challenging. I'm a really out there person. Like I love being busy and I like being with people and doing stuff with others, and serving in the community and whatnot. And so that's kind of like what I enjoy. And then when you kind of get that enjoyment taken away from you, it takes a bit of adjustment, eh? So it's been really challenging at the start. Well, I guess like most New Zealanders, it's kind of you had to try and get used to it as best as you could. So that's been a new experience, eh? Trying to come out of those feelings of feeling down and out and a bit grumpy, and then trying to get back on your feet again. Like emotionally, spiritually, mentally. Yeah, so it was really challenging. So yeah, just still trying to process it, to tell you the truth, bro.
Yeah. Fair enough, Us. And I was just wondering if you could talk to us a little bit about your role there, Ignite, and I guess what you guys actually do, in the youth development space.
Yep. So none of us qualified youth workers, or we didn't do much of. Some of us have done some study, but most of us have come to Ignite Sport with great life experience and a passion to work with young people and see development in our young people. Sure. So what we do here at Ignite Sport is we use the power of sport to engage with young people and motivate them to reach their potential and work through life together, I guess. And we use that through sport. And not all young people are into sport, which is fine, but the young people that aren't really sporty that come into our programs, they still understand the concepts around how sport can help you, can develop you, and in terms of things like setting goals, pushing past the barriers, mental toughness, character building, leadership, all like themes that are within sport. So a lot of our rangatahi can relate to that, whether they are sporty or not. And so we use the power of sport to connect, engage, and build young people.
I'm just wondering, is there something that you're experiencing that is quite fearful for you now, that you're thinking about at the moment?
Good question, bro. When the announcements were made, so I was like, what do we do? Work to take 4 weeks off, and then you get drip fed the information, like you stay home, you got to wash your hands, you got to do this, and so everyone's doing it. And I thought, man, the first thing that popped into my mind was the well-being of my family. And like Vienna told me, the information that she got from the midwife was that she's at risk, high risk, and we can't be in contact that much with this and that. And so that kind of like made me think, I can't do that much, or I've got to be really careful about what I do during lockdown. So that kind of thought of being restricted was tough, man. It was like I couldn't risk my family's well-being by being out and doing too much. So that kind of thought of making me feel isolated and really small was just it was a weird feeling, eh? it wasn't very nice. I didn't find it. I was very uncomfortable in all aspects. I was just, just for the first week, that's how I felt. Oh, I was thinking like practical things like, oh,
Yeah.
who's going to do shopping then if I can't go out? So it did like honestly make me feel a bit worried, fearful about doing stuff.
And given that, how did you process
Mm,
that and
yeah,
overcome that over the weeks leading up to
yeah.
now?
I'm a pretty faithful person, eh?
Yeah.
So kind of like through prayer and stuff like that. That's kind of where I start with any struggles in life,
Mm.
and then just having good conversations with Vienna at home, and just trying to stay off. What I tried to do was try to stay off the new stuff and just focus on home stuff.
Oh yeah.
And, that was good. That was helpful, and then just like tapping into family and close friends that were kind of like maybe feeling the same, and then opening up and having like opportunities to do things like Zoom, and that was good because
Yeah.
I got to share how I felt during when it happened, like the early stages with friends and family, and that was encouraging. That help build a bit of confidence about overcoming how I was feeling. So
Nice.
maybe just communicating to others, just letting people know how you feel. That was really helpful.
Yeah.
Overcoming a bit of that fear, a bit of that anxiety.
I'm with you, bro.
Yeah.
And so you went through that process, started reaching out to people. How has this sort of changed your way of thinking now, or has it changed your way of thinking and your perspective on how you look at things, whether it's
Yeah,
on your
man.
own life or whether it's in the youth space and
Yeah.
just the things that you're involved in?
Yeah. It's good, man. It's good to always check yourself because, um, like in our line of work, it's all about offloading or giving.
Yeah.
You like pour into young people, and you're always encouraging and you're always trying to give advice, not too much advice. You don't tell young people what to do, but you're trying to give good life lessons based on experience and whatnot. So you're doing that constantly, but it was really good to just kind of like chill out a bit and just know that it's okay for you to do the same.
Yeah.
You're preaching a lot, but it's putting it into practice. Being
Yeah.
in those situations of hardship and feeling a bit off about yourself and whatnot, and actually like practically doing those things that you teach young people. So in terms of reaching out and talking, that's kind of like what we say a lot.
Yep.
But it was really good to be in those situations where you had to do it. You had
Yeah.
to reach out to close ones, people that you trust, and like confide in them. And to do that again, because I've done it before in life, and that's where I can offload it to young people. But to go through this lockdown process and actually do it again, like actually live it out again, was awesome because it made me feel, man, I can actually go back to work and share an experience with young people that I've just recently gone through, and they've probably gone through it too. So it's a sharing thing, eh? I think
Yeah.
it's sharing the experience very oddly with other people. It's almost like you share it with the country, you share it with our communities, and actually talking about it together it's going to be awesome. So
Yeah.
coming back to work, bro, it was really nice just to sit down with a colleague and just talk about how I felt through it, in person.
Yeah.
So it's great to do it online, and you're doing that during the process, but post kind of like level 3, it's good to actually face to face with someone and feel like they're absorbing some of your feelings and actually listening. So that's something that I seldomly do, bro. I rarely ever like do that because sometimes I don't feel like I need to. But I'm going through this experience. It's made me feel like it's okay to do it again, and I feel comfortable just sharing how I feel.
So good that you've mentioned that, because what people will find is that there are other people that actually feel the same way. We're all in this together. So a lot of the times people may feel that it's just them going through their own their own process and their own way of thinking, but just trying to reach out as you've done to others may actually be more beneficial than you think. which is a really, really good message to get out there.
Cool, man.
I just wanted to touch on some of the opportunities that you may see. I know, you're a person that likes to have things on the go, as you've
Yes,
mentioned
man.
before.
Yeah.
And given these times, it's really easy to, I suppose, focus on things that are not working and out of your control. But there may
Yeah.
be some opportunities out there that, hey, there could be quite exciting. I'm just wondering if you have any opportunities that you got your eyes set on that is quite exciting for you at the moment. Yeah.
It's more on-site stuff. So there's opportunities there. I think there's we're not limiting ourselves to what we've already done. It's opportunities now to think about how we could work with young people, being restricted to a lot of stuff, but still being able to offload messages and do activities during this lockdown time. So I'm still processing it, bro. But it excites me, right? When I went to Redor College this morning, it was like, okay, we can't do our programs that we've arranged for the term, but what else could we do to assist the school? So those are awesome opportunities. We don't have to do things as we've always done. I think with youth development, you always got to have your eyes open to changes in the fields of society and schools, and just going off the cuff and rolling with it. Like the old sports saying goes, you just roll with the punches, eh?
Yeah.
We're rolling a lot of punches at the moment. We have to dodge and weave and whatnot, but it's good to roll with that at the moment. But then think about a strategy to attack. Think about what other stuff we can do in schools to assist schools, because youth development isn't the way we see it, bro. It's not limited to just programs.
Right.
You just have, when things like this happen, you have to look at what else you can assist the school with their students to still develop young people. Yeah, so that's exciting, bro. And that's not an overnight thing, bro. It's we've got to take a bit of time to think and process how we're going to create opportunities during this time.
Yeah, that's cool. And I think just going off that, I love it because it's you are seeking the opportunities from the people that you work with, as opposed to telling them like this is the solution you should have. It's really working in partnership with them. And I suppose it's for you as well. I love it because it's just coming from a place of service. It's coming from a place of, hey, how can we help you guys? Just another real key message out there for people listening or watching is that not to be afraid to actually ask people, how can you help? And what does that look like going forward? You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure, man. So that's a good point you bring up, because we are a service, or we assist with schools, and like if we're not doing our programs, our thinking is like, what else could we do?
Yeah.
It's easy to sit back and wait for programs to eventually happen, but in the meantime, there's mahi to do. So we're just seeking what we could do within the schools, but rolling with the main, just letting the schools settle in, let them settle their students into a structure that's workable for them at the meantime, and then Ignite Sport will fill in the gaps where we can with schools.
Hey, awesome to hear, man. Hey, given your background also, working with youth and working with them for that many years, 6 years, and also in saying that as well, the experience you've had before you came to youth, because I know that you've brought that experience with you. What advice do you have for maybe some young people out there that are facing some tough times?
Never be afraid to speak up. I think speaking up is one of the most powerful things that you could do. And then conversely, if you don't say much about how you feel and think, then your voice and that's not being heard, and it's harder for you to deal with the stuff that you're dealing with if you're kind of like bottling a lot of it up. And that kind of relates to what you're talking about with my past experience coming into youth development, seeing youth development, and what I expect during post-lockdown is New Zealanders understanding young people a lot more in terms of that mental health, and everyone kind of being okay to talk about it more. Well, I've learned a lot about resilience, and I've seen it through a little bit in myself, but also a lot of people around me, like yourself, and your positive attitude you've had around it. And also people like my parents, hey,
Yeah.
been like, they've been out of it. I haven't seen them,
Oh, no.
but just like the video calls and the chats that you have with them,
Nice.
they're just through their conversations, their spirit and their resilience has just been awesome. It's been really inspirational. Like something like this has been hard for a lot of people if they haven't experienced it. But for my parents, bro, and a lot of oldies that I've seen, Islander ones, they're just been tough as nails, eh?
Yeah.
They've just been like, nah, this is nothing. They've been happy during it. They've been wanting to go out and do stuff. And I think that says a lot about older people and their generation, about the toughness they have. And like they've been through a lot of hard times that's built them. They built that resiliency. So that's been an eye opener for me. As much as you think like, oh, I'm no more than oldies because I'm living in this generation, or we're modernized and got technology, and we know a lot. And when it comes down to it, there's still that human factor of values and that toughness that you can't recreate. It's something that's installed in our oldies, and that's been like really inspirational to see a lot of our old folk around our communities still walking around and doing stuff and treating it in a positive way. It's just been really, really out of it. And the last words, bro, is just just thankful for the opportunity, man. Wasn't sure what to say and how to express it, but thanks to you also for the opportunity. Empowerment training. Can't wait for the future of what you're doing, bro.
Thank you also for doing this.
Awesome, bro. No worries. Appreciate the time, brother.
No worries, man. So it is Mani Malaulu and Daniel Olive on the Empowerment Training Show. Whawhataitele love everybody for tuning in, watching or listening.